So a lot of people ask, what's up with you and Jimmy Wong? And to be honest, not much. We just have our little Twitter spats. And I want to preface all this by saying, look, Jimmy and I disagree on almost everything politically, although we agree that Magic the Gathering is a great game. And unlike most cowards who disagree with me, he does not hide behind a block or a mute. He actively engages, and even though we disagree, I have to respect the man for being open about it, standing behind his beliefs, and not being a coward and simply blocking and then subtweeting. Okay? Jimmy and I have been going back and forth for a few months now on Twitter, but I assure you, it's for a reason. I'm going to share with you what he refers to as heinous comments, heinous tweets, or, well, in fact, this goes back to my attendance at GP Vegas, and apparently the giant, it's not a conspiracy, obviously, but it's like everybody involved from the tournament organizer, Channel Fireball, up to Wizards of the Coast, had several email chains or 20, 30 emails back and forth on whether or not to allow me into the event. And in fact, people specifically required extra security. So as you can probably assume, these tweets that I sent out are extremely offensive and triggering and and dangerous. So please be warned before I share the exact conversation that Mr. Wong said had sprung on a full investigation on whether or not I would be allowed in the tournament area and led to further security being hired. Just be warned. All right. Now, for months, Jimmy has been alluding to some mysterious posts that I made in a private Facebook group amongst friends to roughly 10 people. What happened was more people joined that group, and so some of those people there's about 10 or 20 Magic players that follow me around and screenshot everything because they have really no life at all. And they then took these screenshots and emailed them to Jimmy Wong. They emailed them to Boogie, who then called me and yelled at me for 2 hours straight on the phone. And whoever this person was is hilariously pathetic, okay? It started out with a off-the-cuff tweet that said, wasn't going to GP Vegas, but now that I know I control Tolarian Community College and Wedge IRL, I'm 100% going. See you all there. Bring the popcorn, or bring popcorn. Now, all of you know on my main channel and who follow my main Twitter account know I'm super sarcastic. Okay, obviously. But let's, Then he sends me screenshots from my private Facebook group, which I started for fans, subscribers that were going to meet me and hang out with me in Vegas. And so I posted, I really need some trolls for the YouTuber Q&A on Thursday. Drinks on me if you have the stones to ask one of my questions. This is an obvious sarcastic joke comment. I mean, like, everybody knew this. And this post he hangs his hat on, well, this post was, you deleted this post, so therefore you're so toxic and you're hiding the truth. Well, he has a screenshot, so I don't know what he's so worried about. So I asked him to share it because it had since been deleted. Why was it deleted? I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I think it was maybe the thread started to get attention, the wrong type of attention. There was somebody, part of this group, who was only there to collect dirt. And as you can see, they used it to try to get me banned from GP Vegas. And so I deleted the post probably to stop that. And I legit can't remember. I wish that the date was on here because, I mean, obviously this is months ago, right? And it was seen by about 6 people. Now it's going to be seen by thousands because Jimmy Wong continues to call me some sort of terrible individual over this. And you can see, I don't know where the comments were deleted, but all that's left is my comment saying, yeah, that one goes too far. So I'm literally saying like, And I posted, or I was curious, how both you balance having 4-year degrees and debt incurred with them, and you don't work. This is so terrorizing. Or, hey, Wedge, I have IBS too, which I do. I've literally crapped my pants in public. One day I'll share that story on this channel. And I was in my 30s. How do you manage to fly 5 hours in Vegas in a plane where zero chance you fit in the bathroom? That's a little mean. I agree. But again, this is in a private group, and we're just memeing on the guy, okay? Now that it's out there and everyone can see it, yeah, it's a little mean. But again, I have IBS, and you have to make fun of these things, in my opinion. You have to, otherwise they'll ruin your life. I mean, if I couldn't joke about me crapping my pants in a Walmart shoe aisle, then I don't know. I think I would die from the embarrassment. But as again, this is it. Maybe there were more. I don't know. All I have is these screen grabs that were sent to Channel Fireball and the tournament organizer or whatever, security teams. And this was it. Like, it wasn't like this thread had hundreds of comments. It had 14 comments. It was probably me and one other person, maybe two. We were just memeing on the guy, for crying out loud, right? So then, the third is the end of an email chain that lasted over 20 emails from creators to Channel Fireball about our safety. The last reply before Channel Fireball's is mine. So what does he mean? I mean, look at the language, okay? These are separate but very different events, but carry the same message. Oh, by the way, I've attended 10 GPs, nothing but stellar reporting. I've attended GPs with these people before, never had a problem. Brian from Tolarian has attended several GPs where I'm there, and we've never had a problem. I've never had a single report of bad behavior at a GP. I'm always on my best behavior. So these people are simply conflating something. So here's what I think is happening. Somebody's feelings got hurt because they got memed on. So then they blew this way out of proportion to try and get me banned from the event, which would have been fine, right? Ultimately, what Jimmy told me is they wanted to ban me, or were very seriously considering it, but they were worried about the video that I would make about it. So even they knew that this whole thing was absurd. Okay? These are separate but very different events, but carry the same message. The importance of safety cannot be understated. We should never feel like our only option is to approach you after an event has arisen. I think it's reasonable and certainly easily arguable to higher-ups that we receive hired security to be present at this event. Sorry. This is not only necessary, but should be a 100% obligation of a company like Channel Fireball to its guests to ensure their safety. Safety from somebody asking a question at an open Q&A. This is literally what it was, about a YouTuber Q&A that, oh, by the way, about 6 people attended. When I walked by, the seats were completely empty. No one gave a shit about this event. It probably would have made it more interesting, but that's neither here nor there. This is the standard operating procedure at events like VidCon, Playlist Live, and Comic-Cons around the world. Being an MTG event shouldn't exclude us from this. This is really no excuse, unless you are completely out of budget or understaffed and somehow unable to find security. What rule would I have been in violation of? If I walked up there myself and asked, "Hey, Wedge, I'm curious. I have IBS too. I've shit my pants in public before. How did you make the 5-hour flight from New York, but you are on disability because you can't work?" I mean, that's a little, yeah, it's kind of a salty question, but what rule would I be violating? Anyway, there's no excuse, blah, blah, blah. I hope you will send the required messages and get the ball rolling, ensuring on this. We all very much appreciate the presence of Channel Fireball officials and workers in red shirts at an event like this. And I hope you understand, this is not enough. We need armed guards to protect us against his questions. If you'd like to hop on a call or talk about this over Skype, please let me know. We can continue this discussion. I don't even understand how these people are taking themselves way too seriously. He's basically requesting police officers be there to prevent somebody from asking salty questions. First of all, I paid my price of admission to be there. I have every right to attend a Q&A and ask whatever question I want. It's not attend a Q&A and ask only pre-screened questions. I mean, who do these people think they are? The president? You gotta be kidding me. If you've ever been to any GP event, you know these events barely can keep the judges in order, can keep the events firing in a reasonable amount of time without, mass hysteria. Now they have to worry about hiring security in case somebody asks a mean question. I'm sorry, but that's people's right. Their reply, hello everyone, I'm sorry if I've been unclear. There will be private security that we've hired for the event. Venue security provided through the Las Vegas Convention Center and Channel Fireball event staff present at the panels throughout the event. In addition to the private security, venue security and staff we have already dedicated to the event we have contracted for additional private security specifically for this panel. Nobody was there. I shot a vlog video walking by. Nobody even attended it. There were probably more security people watching it than people in attendance. For clarity, I want to emphasize that there will be private security, venue security, and Channel Fireball event staff on site through the entire event. Even with these security measures, I encourage you all to reach out to me if an issue arises that concerns you. This is what happens when you have tiny creators relatively speaking. These are creators that all have about the same subscriber base I do, okay? 100 to 200,000 subscribers. My main channel has 145,000 subscribers, okay? I could argue that I would have been a bigger draw than any of these people would have been because it would have created a buzz. If you would have put me on a panel with Wedge to talk about discourse in the Magic the Gathering community, or better yet, me and Jimmy Wong, I bet you we would have packed the house. Instead, it was just 5 shills up on stage shilling for Shill Shillington Co., and nobody cared. There's 6, 7, 8,000 people in attendance, and nobody cared about these panels. They had a guy doing a panel, I'm not even kidding you, who regularly has about 30 people watching him on Twitch, doing a panel on how to have a successful stream. Why would anyone give two craps about what this joker has to say about running a successful stream? First of all, nobody in the Magic the Gathering community has any weight to talk about how to stream. Nobody watches Magic, including myself. Nobody watches Magic streams. Nobody watches me stream. Magic is boring to watch streaming. Nobody can refute this. The numbers don't lie. So why do you have a panel with some SJW red-haired, blue-haired Mohawk guy? Well, because it's all about their little mafioso of groupthink, right? Instead of having, they had a panel with a guy who can't even bring in more than 100 people watching him, when the 50th most watched Hearthstone streamer does more than that. It's about doing favors. This is access journalism. If you're on their team, you get a panel at an event that nobody cares about, okay? And this is how they react. You give them this much recognition, and they're asking for personal security guards. How could you even justify the expense to hire additional security for an event no one gave a crap about? I don't understand, Jimmy. I appreciate you, my man, but you guys need to take a big step back and realize you are insignificant. Oh, man. People like this are who are running Magic the Gathering. People like this are who's propped up on a pedestal for Magic the Gathering. If you're going to ban somebody over asking first of all, you have to accept that I actually would have done this which I've never done in the past. I've been to multiple events with these people, never had a problem. Ever. Not one complaint. And they can't even point to one, which is probably why they couldn't ban me. Instead, they put a burden of extra security over being afraid of being asked a potentially uncomfortable question. For the money they spent on that additional security, maybe they could have paid the judges a few more dollars. Or maybe they could have not had $9 sub sandwiches in there. Maybe they could have had another vendor selling food, healthy options, instead of crap convention food. No, they pissed it all away on cosplayers nobody cared about, security nobody needed, and an art display nobody cared about. Priorities.